Snake with Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Keep it a Google gang. If you can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and drop the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google the only way. Mention me, I come out and play. That's on the gang. We're not the same. I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards, we all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies, facts over feelings. We ain't gonna start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google bang.
Jeter. Gratitude is the attitude. This show is a blessing to be back in the black box and blow us a session as we usually do. I know it's kind of early. Y'all don't have no idea how long I've been having to prepare. And like I do every blue moon, I can't believe I do not have a word of the day loaded up in there. I can't believe I have not even, I don't, that's crazy. Being over-prepared, being thinking about so much. We just gonna run with this one. Gosh, ain't this a B.I.? Gosh is the word of the day. Gosh. And I'll let y'all see the definition, then I'll read it. Bam. Gosh means having or showing a lack of awareness about the proper way to behave. When describing a person or a behavior, gosh can mean socially awkward or tactless. When describing an object such as a product with a vulgar image or slogan on it, it can mean crudely made or done. Some people view giving cash in lieu of a wrap present to be terribly gosh, but I like knowing that my friends and family will be able to pick out something they truly want. Gosh is the word of the day. Gosh, I wonder if that had anything to do with us saying gosh, because gosh does seem like it's a statement of something being ridiculous or whatever. On my mama, I'm late to the Kyrie Irving saga as far as understanding what was going on, what was taking place. I could tell he was going through some drama that was relatable to what Kanye was going through, but, the whole Kanye fiasco was kind of overshadowing it, and I didn't take my time to research. However, recently, I have become more familiar as to what Kyrie Irving is going through. And I just got some thoughts on it, curious to some of y'all thoughts as well. One of my first thoughts, when I just try to, analyze through the years, people that I'm familiar with that have, gone through this type of struggle, I find a common denominator in the names. I know this is not no conspiracy theory or nothing. It's probably totally irrelevant, but I just noticed that there's been a Kunta, Kite. Then there's been Nicc, They be on Farahkan, Kanye. We've watched Cube go against these type of energies, and it just seemed like a whole lot of I'm just saying, on my mama. I know that's totally ironic and irrelevant, but it's just something I noticed. But so, I ain't gonna lie, in my gut, in my heart, off top, I was riding with Kyrie off top, regardless of not knowing the details. And then I realized there was a buzz reporting that he apologized. And it's just me scanning the headlines, kind of keeping up with what took place. I know he had took a firm stand. And I had even seen him at a press conference handle a reporter very diligently, directly on the subject matter. And this is what seems to have taken place overall, and my thoughts on it. It seems as if Kyrie became aware of some significance in regards to his name through either seeing portions of a documentary or being told about what the documentary contained. However, it appears he had not watched the whole film. And just being inspired by the film, just being aware of it containing certain information in regards to his name, from what I'm aware, he posted some reference to that on his social media, which included a link or a direction to go check out a particular documentary. And now, there was a whole lot of pressure coming upon him to retract this statement, apologize, take a new position, because apparently, even though the portion of the documentary that he was interested in and impressed by was not offensive in nature, if you go through the whole film, from what I am aware, because he has now gave a statement to this effect, I guess if you actually watch the whole film, which he had not done, there are things in there that can be considered offensive or anti, how they trying to call it. So at first, when they were trying to bang on him for apology, he was standing firm like, I ain't got nothing to apologize for. And then I was seeing people say like, oh, why he apologized? He folded. I'm like, damn. So I had to go listen to the nature of the apology that he extended. And what he actually stated was, I was attracted toward this certain piece of work based upon some information I found out in relation to my name and its history and its power and its significance. And I was sharing that for that purpose. He said, but now since I got so much backlash, I went and did more investigation, and I realized there are things contained in there that could be considered offensive. And then he apologized for how they worded it, for hurting someone. And I find that very, very bullyish, abusive, because just think about this. You could right now on your social media post Psalms 23 or John 3:16. And just imagine certain groups coming up against you. Now, just think about John 3:16 said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only forgotten son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have eternal life. And we know what Psalms 23 say. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, these are inspirational scriptures that people grab because it means something to them. Doesn't mean they've read the whole Bible, they're familiar with everything it states, or they agree with everything it states. But there are some things in that Bible that says certain people whose lifestyle is very popular right now are not going to be present in heaven. It says that. It states that. So just imagine you posting Psalms 23 or, John 3:16 or any scripture that is you consider inspirational to yourself. And because you do so, now you're up under scrutiny and attack and have been almost forced to apologize, because also within the Bible contains things that says certain lifestyles are not going to be allowed in heaven. Even though you was only into the Bible for these scriptures, they're finna hold you accountable for everything that the Bible contains. So because he didn't watch the whole documentary and he found the portion of that documentary inspirational to himself, and he deemed it perhaps would be inspirational to others, he promoted it for that reason, and now he's coming under accountability for everything within that documentary. So unfair. With all the bush Kanye be putting out there, we see how they doing him. I think he put too much emphasis on stating constantly how much of a billionaire he was. You don't really see billionaires doing that. However, it's crazy because I keep trying to scrape his statements for something that is really offensive, and I just cannot find the offense. And I wonder, I guess this dude that Farahkan is referring to is somebody influential in all these situations. And I love the way Farahkan get at him. It took me a long time being raised Protestant, Christian, and all that, being indoctrinated and programmed with a certain mentality. It took me a long time to appreciate Farahkan for anything. And in times like this, you gotta appreciate him because he's had these conversations over and over and over through the years. And you know, recently on social media, I think he was the first one that got booted off for speaking along these lines. But he invites, with no anger, no hatred, no disrespect, no profanity, he invites people of that community to have this dialogue. And he also speaks on our people going through these struggles. Just check him out, though. Tell me what y'all think about what he had to say.
You know what, Mr. Foxman? I wish you and I could have a dialogue. You wouldn't put that small-time stuff over on me that you put on scared-to-death Negroes, that if they mentioned you and you call them anti-Semitic, they start bowing to you and your pressure. Kanye West, don't bow to the pressure to apologize to anybody. You said nothing wrong. Who are you, Farahkan, to tell him that he said nothing wrong? I am directly from the Christ and the Messiah. So what I tell you has more weight than anything that these enemies might want to say. You have nothing to apologize for. It is their fear of the truth
that they want you to apologize for. What he says make a lot of sense to me. You know, ever since Elon Musk has taken control of Twitter, to some degree, the N-word is being more rampantly used to like hundreds and hundreds % more than it ever has. There's no outcry. I find it real interesting that, you know, Farahkan is open, willing to discuss these issues on a public platform with the same influential people from that community that are causing this to be such a problem for Kanye and Nicc. And I see no one open to have this public conversation. It seems like they've painted a narrative behind the word anti-Semitic. It's such a triggering word that no matter what the actual statements are toward the community, all you have to do is respond or rebuttal with that phrase, and then there's an automatic process that follows to where the voice is muffled out, whether what they stated can actually be classified as such or not. And me not being an expert on the subjects, just being passionately concerned based on I am a member of this community, you know, by default. I just want to remind us we have to be ever so diligent to continue to read between the lines. Oh, my mama.
We read between the lines. We read between the lines. We read between
On
the
the set,
lines.
I swore I had covered my base. Ended up in court, had to fight a couple of cases. Crackers don't care when you come in them places. It be written on their faces. Them motherfuckers is racist. Fuck trial, shit tricky, give me the deal. I ain't never seen a real killer beat a pill. Shooter got a brighter future if he got a date. Behind the gate, lot of politics to tolerate. Sitting in the car, finna split a cigar. To my niggas on the yard, send my biggest regards. You don't wanna run it back, we already ran it. You landed flat on his back, cause I'm heavy-handed. Wanna catch another fade, we can follow up. But I ain't waiting all day, niggas squabble up. Gang of anger, got it all bottled up. Gang bangers, whole world follow us. Evil times you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil times you believe, can you see the sign? Tell me who gon' lead the blind, why they lead the blind? Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Niggas clowns need to be in the circus. Putting these buzzers on the turf, they defeating the purpose. The first to return when the enemy serves immediately on ease. These weenies be nerve dedicated to a section that didn't deserve us. It turned us into murderers and then the deserters. Number one lesson I learned in the pen: when you lose your respect, you can't earn it again. Smoke a lot, Classified most faded, the low gon' be satisfied to all his folks made it. This Cabbage Patch where he caught most of the damage at. Perhaps he know a magic plastic surgeon that can manage that. Ask me, I'm just a product of my habitat. Narcotic habits where they quick to let you have it at. Big homie talking about he need half that. I'm laughing at him as if my little bastard having that. Imagine that. Can you see the sun? Tell me who gon' lead the blind while they lead the blind. Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Evil times you believe, can you see the sun? Tell me who gon' lead the blind while they lead the blind. Am I wrong cause I'm all about me and mine? Niggas better catch on, read between the lines. Between the Lines available on all digital platforms. Callers in the queue, I see you. I'm gonna get to them lines ESAP on my mama. But before we do that, I just want to holler about one more thing, cuz.
Snakewood and that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
Black Box Productions.